So I've had a real Hyrox humbling today. I went to the gym. Sole purpose, mainly going to the gym, was to isometric deadlifts off the bottom pin. But the setting, just like at home, the lowest setting is just below the knee. So these isometric pulls from the floor, I'm not going to be able to do them. So I might be able to, I don't know if they're worth doing just below the knee, but they're off the menu, unfortunately. So I thought I'll do something else. And what I had in mind was doing like a Hyrox, a full Hyrox, but half in each station. So I was going to use the curved treadmill and do like 2 minutes roughly on the treadmill between each station. But I didn't enjoy that, so I went on the bike instead. Started off with the ski erg, 500 metres. That took around 2 minutes. And then in between each station I did this. I just went on the ergodyne bike for 2 minutes. It still took me a long time to finish. Very humbling. I had it in my mind I might be able to do a Hyrox within an hour and a half, but I very much doubt it. So the sled push was very tiring. I did 30 metres. You're supposed to do 50 in a full Hyrox, but because it's 10 metre a setting, I just did 3 to make it 30 metre. Same with the sled pull. Now obviously in a proper Hyrox you've only got a short area to pull from, which because the rope's not long enough, I can't do that here. So I'm not sure really how to pull properly with a rope so small. I'm walking back too much. Like I say, you've got a boxed off area in a proper Hyrox. So yeah, this was tricky, but this is like 150 kilo sled pull. But I'm quite strong with these and the push. I've got the technique down, I think. But again, it's the sled push is so taxing. That was probably the most taxing move I did today, the sled push. This pull I found a bit easy, obviously, because I've got quite a decent pulling strength with the deadlift and stuff. But I would say the sled push has been the hardest one. The one that proper gassed me was the burpee broad jumps. I was doing 5 jumps per 10 metre. I think I should change that to 6 really, because the jumps were too far, they were too taxing. Now with these, you can just step up. I've been watching technique, you can just step up, you don't have to jump up. So that does make it a bit easier. But 40 metres of that was quite tough. Now, this is my biggest weakness, my grip. On the Hyrox, you do a 200 metre farmer's carry. In the Pro, you do 32 kilo. In the Open, you do 24. So they only had 24 kilo kettlebells. I did half that, 100 metres. My grip was giving out towards the end. I don't think I'd have got 200 metres without putting it down. This was a killer. You're supposed to do 100 metre sandbag lunges with 30 kilo, I think. In the Hyrox, there's only 20 kilo sandbags here, and again, I just did a half the distance. So 50 metres, after 40 metres, I had to put the sandbag down and to get it off my back, because my shoulders were fatigued more than anything from holding the bag. Quads were on fire, put the bag back on for the last 10 metres. Yeah, this was a real quad burner. And I've just completely underestimated these stations. I mean, it's all right going for an hour doing burpees and bag work and swings, but I'm used to that. So obviously there's fitness and then there's specific fitness. And I need to work on these stations a lot more if I'm ever going to attempt to do a full Hyrox. And then the rowing machine I filmed, but it was upside down, so I couldn't use the footage. So obviously I'm going on the ergodyne bike between each station. So I went on the bike, did the rower, back on the bike, and then this the last station. 50 wall balls. This is all about technique. If you get into a flow, into a rhythm, get the technique right and catch the ball correctly, then it's not as bad. You only need to drop the ball once and miscue it once, and it just zaps your energy, man. I did a 20, then 2 sets of 15. Now I know some of the top competitors are getting 100 wall balls right at the end, all the way through, which just sounds ridiculous to me. Very, very tough. So then I decided to let's do a finisher, and because I didn't film the rower, I didn't get the footage right because it was upside down. I thought I'd do a 500 metre sprint to finish off. 1 minute 47. In the first minute it was telling me that my predicted time was going to be like 1:42, which would have been, according to what I was looking at, a pretty good time for a novice. 1:47 is about average. Obviously I was quite fatigued. I've been working out for like 40 minutes before this. I think I could get this below 140 fresh. Obviously, again, I've got decent pulling strength with all the deadlifting and all the rowing. So that, and I'm quite weighty. I'm 90 kilos, so that's an advantage. So then I had to do my deadlifts. Now, I've not done deadlifts fatigued before, this fatigued. Funnily enough, they felt quite good. As well, I had my like running shoes on. I got some New Balance trainers on, and I thought I'd struggle with them, but they felt pretty good in running shoes, which was a surprise to me. I worked up to 180, which felt pretty good, and I just banged out a quick triple at 180 kilo, and that was it for today. So yeah, a real Hyrox humbling, but I've got the bug for this kind of training now. So I really want to mix it up now with the deadlift and the Hyrox conditioning. And yeah, maybe a future plan will be to be a 500 pound deadlift, a 400 pound squat, and a sub 75 minute Hyrox.